This is the walk around video for Volkswagen T-Cross Life for New Zealand version. This is the outside. So start the vehicle up, basically lock the vehicle by pressing the key, unlock the vehicle by pressing this key button. It's also got keyless entry as well on the door, I can show you that. To open the tailgate, just simply press this button over here. Tailgate opens up all the way, and that's how the boot floor looks like. Underneath you get a spare wheel. You can also push this down to a low level, just creates a little bit more space. You can take this off if you need to. And to pull it down, simply use this lever here, drop it all the way. There you go. Fuel tank is on the driver's side, simply flick it open, push it open up as long as the door is unlocked. Rear seats, very simple, nothing too special around here. But if you do need to drop the rear seats, simply pull this lever, drop down the rear seats. Same applies to the other side, otherwise push it up. And at the back you get two USB charging ports for anyone who has iPads, AirPads or their phones. Yeah, that's how the back looks like. And go to the driver's side. Because this has keyless entry, so I have my key in my pocket. Simply I just tap here, the door locks with the ring mirror locks in, and I can just put my hand in the handrail, the door unlocks with the ring mirror opens up. So press that, lock, and hand in the handrail after 5 seconds, and it opens up. There you go, just how to open and close the driver door, and works on the driver door, works on the passenger door as well. On the driver's side, you get your door handles, a lock, unlock button for all the central locking. And then on this side, first one you will notice is the wing mirror control. So switch to right, go up, down, left and right, adjust the right wing mirror. Go left, adjust up and down, left and right, adjust the left wing mirror. And you also have off position, so it doesn't do anything, or heated position, so heat up a wing mirror in the morning, or folding position, so you're manually folding, control by yourself to fold in the wing mirror. Otherwise, leave on off, it will be there. Window control, front, rear, and you get window lock for the back seats, passenger as well. If you push this in, once it's pushing, it should have a yellow light indicator. At the moment, no light. It means it's not locked for the rear passenger. Driver seats, very simple. Slide, so just on the left bottom, slide forward and backwards. This one allows you to go up and down for the base. For example, lift it up or drop down like this. This is the rear adjustment for the back support. So go back or go forward, twist. This is the lumbar support. You can push in and push out, where the lumbar pushes in and pushes out. I'm gonna slide the seats backwards, and also you get steering adjustment. So for example, the steering is at this position. I'm gonna adjust the steering by pulling this lever just down to the bottom. You can lift this up or down. You can push this in and out. Telescope as well, and after that just push it back to the starting position. That's how you adjust the steering. And we're gonna start the vehicle first. So to start the vehicle, push the foot on the brake and press this button, just one touch. The vehicle should start. Just adjusting my seats. And so from the basic controls on the right hand side, you get first one, that's around the door bang. First one is the light control, so leave here, that's off. Leave here, that's auto lights, so it'll switch on, switch off automatic for you. Here, that's the sort of parking lights, and then that's the nighttime running lights. So you will want this at night, but you can leave on auto all the time, and the vehicle will switch on, switch off for you. And then you also have fog lights. You won't be able to switch this all the way. To switch on the fog lights, simply as long as your headlights is on, you can switch up and down. So switch position up, one position, and that's front fog lights. Second position, that's front and rear fog lights. Once it's the rear fog lights on, you have a small indicator over there. That means the rear fog lights is on. So you can see there it's not balanced. But if you push in, it's a flat surface. Means it's just a normal headlights. One position, pull out, that's for front fog lights. Pull out to the second position, the front and rear fog lights. Push it all the way in, that's normal auto lights with no fog lights. You only use fog lights when you go through mountains or when there's a foggy area, stuff like that. You don't need to use it all the time. And then this switch here, up and down, allows you to change the allows you to change the headlight adjustments. So at so this bar position, it's the highest leveling. But if your vehicle is loaded with people, you get more luggage or you get more weight, you can swipe it up to 3 or 2 to 1. So your vehicle headlight dip down basically. Normally you can leave on here for now. And we're gonna jump back to the center screen, the center icon. So the vehicle steering obviously has a lot of buttons on the steering. So we're gonna talk about the right hand side first. First one is your voice command, and that allows you to get voice control for your radio player or not radio player, a phone call or phone command, all that things. So that's just very basic things. It's not as advanced as your Siri, for example. On the right hand side, where you get arrow buttons, you can see up and down, left and right, and OK button. So these 4 buttons allow you to control whatever display in that center screen. You can see the digital screen over there. So let's say, for example, I'm gonna click right. It's gonna go to assistant systems. I'm gonna keep going to right. Next one is audio. Click right. Telephone. Click right. Vehicle status. Click right. Driving data. Click right. Assistant systems. You can see it's going around either left or right. It's going in a loop. Whichever you like, you can just leave it there. For example, mostly people leave on driving data, so it shows your digital keys, 0 k's per hour. But again, up to you. You can change anything you like. On different screens, you also have up and down function. For example, I'm gonna click up. You can see at the driving data function, it's just gonna show a warning at particular case. Going up says oil temperature. Obviously, the car hasn't been running for a while. It won't tell you the oil temperature as of yet. But keep going up. It's consumption at the moment. How many liters per hour, for example. Going up again, that's average fuel consumption long term. Again, depends on how you drive. It's gonna show differently on your dashboard. Go up again, range to empty. At the moment, it's about 480 k's. Again, it's just a very estimate. While you're driving, it's gonna get better or much accurate once you start driving. Go up driving time, distance covered, all that things. Again, you can go up or down whenever you like. Of course, most people like the 0 k's per hour. You can leave it there whenever you like. After that, you can also get view button. A view button only changes between this particular screen to the assistant screen. So you still have the access to the assistant systems, but you can just click view. It goes back and forth. So only the screen display changes. There's not much view button does in this situation. Then you can see the bars at the bottom, these buttons. This is the track button, so it allows you to go to next radio stations or next sound when Bluetooth is connected. This allows you to go to the last radio station or last track or something like that. So again, music playing. If we go to left, these bottom bars, this is the volume, lower volume or higher volume. Again, you can see on the top display, it goes up or down whenever you press this. When something's playing, obviously. On this part, these black buttons, this is your cruise control and assistant systems. So if, let's say at the moment, you can see at the bottom it shows my digital case, and that means my cruise control is not on at the moment. But if I press this button, you can see on the left or bottom, my cruise control function is ready to kick in. It starts showing the cruise control button over the sort of sign over there. That means the cruise control is ready to kick in. It's still not starting driving as of yet. Once you start driving on the road, once you reach a particular case, for example, you're at 50 k's per hour, you can simply tap set button. That allows you the vehicle to drive on 50k, for example. And then if you do want to change your set speed, obviously your set speed can display over there. If you do want to change your set speed, you can do minus or plus. That allows you to jump to tens. So let's say you're at 50, it's plus, gonna go to 60, minus, gonna go to 40. Where if you do want to do micro adjustments, resume and set button allows you to go one by one. Let's say I'm driving, I'm gonna press set at 50k, I'm gonna press resume, keep pressing resume, then I'm gonna keep going one by one to go up to like 51, 52, 53. Where keep pressing set goes to 49, 48 and 47, for example. And any situation, if you do want to cancel the cruise control, simply press cancel or simply use your foot to apply the brake. Once you apply the brake, it's going to pause the cruise control. And then that means if you do want to resume the cruise control, this is the resume button, how it works. Simply press resume, it will resume back to your last cruise control setting. So that's how the cruise control works. And if you don't want the cruise control anymore, simply tap this cruise control on and off button, press this, shows digital case instead of cruise control. That means your cruise control is completely off. Now if I press set, plus, minus, it doesn't work anymore. So that's how the cruise control setting works. And then you find this individual feature. This is all your assistance systems. So on this particular vehicle, you have things like blind spot detection, all those features. I will go through this later because it's very confusing if I'm going to go through this now, but I'll go through later when I go through the middle screen. Then after that, you get all your different menu. For example, if I'm gonna set time, you're gonna set a service, you can press this button. Normally you don't need to do anything for this. All the controls can be done on the other screen, and this is just purely mostly for technicians to reset a service reminder, something like that. You don't need to touch this. This is your trip odometer, so you can see your trip at the moment is 34.3 Ks. You can press this button to go to the second trip, or press and hold to reset, something like that. Again, you don't use this very often unless you're calculating or your fuel consumption or that things. So those are the two buttons on the dash. And behind the steering, you find that on the left is your indicator, basically up and down. That's your indicator. Flashlight is pulling against the steering. High beam is pushed forward against this, far away from the steering, just as a normal car. And then on the right hand side, that's your windscreen wiper. And this vehicle has got auto windscreen wiper, so that means when it's at this position, we are at the off position, so it doesn't do anything. But if I'm gonna drop it down, just wipe once and stop. But if I'm gonna push up to this position, it's gonna be sort of rain sensing basically position. That means the rain, how do you say, the sensor inbuilt on the windscreen will pick up the rain water. It depends on the amount, obviously, and then wipe accordingly. At this intermittent sort of position, you will be able to use this switch. You can go left and right. You can see going left is the lowest setting, going up is going right is your highest setting. That allows you to change the sensitivity levels. So obviously lower levels on the left, higher levels on the right. Depends on how fast you want the rain sensing to work. Basically, if I'm gonna push up again, that's gonna be at low speed. This is not rain sensing anymore. You can see the wiper gonna wipe at a particular speed, at low speed. Go one position up, you're gonna be high speed. It's gonna be the fastest windscreen wiper basically. Otherwise, drop it down to this position and it will be on intermittent, so it will be just the rain sensing. Otherwise, leave it off for now. So that's how the windscreen wiper works. You can also wash the front wiper basically just by pulling against the steering, and you can wash the front wiper. It will wash like this. And then if you do want to use the rear wiper, just by push it forward, you can see the position, pulling it back against my camera allows you to wash the front one. Otherwise it's off. Otherwise push forward and it will be the rear wiper, and push forward and hold, it will be the washing the rear wiper, the rear windscreen basically. Otherwise leave it off position so it doesn't do anything. So yeah, that's pretty much everything about the steering. We're gonna go back to the middle screen. So in the center screen, it's all touch sensitive, so you get direct buttons, not really buttons but more like just sensitive icons, and on the left, on the right basically. So how it does is, if I'm going to listen to radio, it's going to jump to the radio screen, and this is the volume bar, by the way. This is your track control, where this is your on and off button. If I'm pressing this button, completely switch it off, just so the time or anything like that. You can swipe left and right to different displays. As I press it, it will be on. And if I'm going to press radio, this is going to play whatever the radio station is playing. It's going to show up here. For example, this is your presets. I'm going to listen to News Talk ZB. I'm going to just click this button. It's going to start playing News Talk ZB. But if you do want to change anything, you can click stations and show up all the station list. Just like your smartphone, you can swipe up and down to choose whichever stations you're playing. Otherwise, go back. If you do want to, let's say I don't want to listen to News Talk ZB and I don't want to use ZB to save a second anymore, I'm not gonna change to Flower, and how do you say, I'm gonna change this radio station to my favorite station on the second instead. What I'm gonna do is just simply press hold this button until you hear the beep. Now you can see flower, basically gonna save at the second station. So this is how it works to save your stations. And if you do want to change anything, you can click source as well. That allows you to change to FM, AM, Bluetooth, all that things whenever you like, basically. So yeah, that's about the radio stations. You can change settings, all that things. You can go through this later. It's just some very minor settings. Yeah, so that's the radio. Media is basically your Bluetooth connection. Again, your Bluetooth is not connected. There's nothing going to be showing up here, but I can show you that later how to connect the smartphone, which is the next one. So if I click phone, I can show you how to connect your smartphone. I do have an iPhone with me, so I'm gonna just open up this phone, Face ID. Sorry. So now you can see, once I click phone button, it's gonna say connect your mobile phone when stationary. Search for my VW3098. Different vehicles will always have different numbers, but what you need to do is you simply go to your settings on the phone, click settings, and let's say I'm gonna click Bluetooth. Different phones obviously will have different menus, all the things. You can see the device is not searching. I'm just gonna wait for this to refresh. It's gonna show devices here. Just gonna search, stop and start again. Yep, now you can see that my VW3098 comes up on the screen. So I'm just gonna click that. And you can see on my phone it pops up do you want pair, and on the screen it sounds pop up do you want pair as well. So I'm gonna click pair, then I'm gonna click yes on the screen. So both devices gonna try to recognize each other. It also asks do you want to allow your contacts and favorites to be synced. I won't allow it, but for yourself, if it's your car, you can just click allow. Just click don't allow, so that don't have my information or contact book or anything like that. Yep, so now it's connected, so it's gonna just pop a notification. We can ignore that. You can see now my phone comes up. You can just simply, as long as you allow your contacts to be connected, you can see your contacts, call history, you can add your favorites, everything like that. And in that case, if you do want to listen to any music, what you need to do is just simply go to media, go to source, go to Bluetooth audio. Whatever is playing at the background on your phone, it's gonna start playing through the speakers basically. Fortunately, nothing is loaded here, so I can't. I can try Spotify, just see. Well, nothing. No, we won't be playing music. But yeah. Anyway, this is how it works basically with the phone connection. Once your phone's connected, it's gonna show your icons, everything on the top. My phone is not connected to network, so it doesn't show anything. It shows battery, it shows one notification or one message. And yeah, that's how to connect a smartphone. Mute button, just to mute music basically. You don't need to do anything with that. Setup, it's purely for screen setup. You can set up different things for screen, for time and day, for language, all that things. Everything's set pretty well. In case you do need to set anything, you can go through that later. Sound allows you to change different sound speakers, directions, all that things. Again, you can set up later. Car is showing your vehicle status, all that things. So you can click left and right to see your tire pressure monitoring system, to see your vehicle status. In the car setting, the main thing is your settings basically at the bottom. So if you click car, if you click settings at the bottom, that allows you to go through all the things about setting the vehicle up. For example, you can see your tire pressure monitoring system, you can see your lighting controls, you can see your parking maneuvering in terms of assistance beepings, all that things, mirrors, windscreen wipers. Important thing in the opening is you can convenience opening, so that allows you to unlock all the windows when you when you click the unlock button from a distance, and shut all the windows when you click the lock button from a distance and hold basically. And central locking, all the doors will be unlocked and locked obviously when you lock the vehicle. So that's the opening and closing. Yeah, so that's pretty much all this. We can go through that later, of course. So this is just the settings for those things. And then menu allows us to see all the menus available. Again, radio is there, telephone is there, vehicle is there, sound is there, media is there. App Connect allows you to connect to Apple Carplay or Android Auto using these two USB cable basically. So you can connect that. Assistance systems is the one most important ones. So it's going to show a generic graphic just to tell you what's available on this particular vehicle in terms of assistance systems. You can click different icons to show up, but easier way is to go to settings, allows you to see all the things. First one is front assist, so that means this function is on, and in case you are likely to crash into something or someone, the vehicle will give you an emergency beep and give you the emergency brake in the last very second. In case you want to read something about it, you can click information. This tells you what's going on with this feature. And if you don't like it, you can untick it. But again, it is recommended to leave it on. Lane assist. Basically, when you go over 60 km per hour, the vehicle will see the lane marking and try to balance you in the right center in case you go over the lane marking. Again, if you don't like it, simply untick it. Otherwise, just tick it whenever you like. So up to you. Blind spot monitor is your light on the wind mirror basically. When you drive along the road, the vehicle can sense the rear traffic coming towards your way at the left or right. Then the indicator light will light up on your wind mirror. Again, if you don't like it, you can take it off. If you like it, you leave it on. Driverless systems, basically give you alert systems if you need to take a rest after you drive for example 4 or 5 hours constantly without taking a rest. So that's just give you a warning. Active occupant protection, just give you a slightly safe seatbelt fasten sort of action when you are in a danger or something like that. Again, if you don't like it, you can untick it, but most of the people will have it on just for actual safety. So that's the safety feature. In case you want to talk about this, this is your basically system feature. In case you need to do a quick setup to engage or disengage anything. So for example, if I'm going to press this button, this is going to show up. Then I can go up and down on these arrows to quickly set this up to different settings. For example, if I don't want the blind spot detection, I'm going to just click OK to untick that, or click OK to tick it. So that's just a quick set for the assistance systems. Apart from that, this button doesn't do anything else. It just brings up or brings the that away sort of thing. So that's all the things about the screen basically. And other things you can use the screen for is basically your reverse camera. So I'm gonna put the vehicle on reverse. You can see the reverse camera gonna pop up. You can see parking sensor at the rear, at the front. If I get close to something, it's gonna beep, which is what it's doing at the moment. And if you don't want it, you can just push forward. In case when you are reverse, you don't want the parking sensor. For example, I'm gonna press this button, the parking sensor will engage, and I press this button, the parking sensor will disengage. So if I'm reversing, but I don't like the parking sensor, I don't like the camera, I'm just gonna press this button. So I can still reverse like a normal car, but the parking sensor will not give you beeping or anything like that. I'm just gonna move to park. And then after that, you get auto hold function. So the vehicle will shut off the engine at traffic lights temporarily, and then allows you to start the engine up again with you releasing the brake. So if you don't like it, every time you start the vehicle on, and the vehicle that function will be on. This is the button to disable that function. If I'm going to press that button now, you can see on the top dash, stop start system not available. That means the vehicle has shut off this stop start function for this time before I switch it off again. That's obviously the parking sensor. This is the thing called park assist. I'll have to do another separate video about park assist. It's a little bit complicated but easy to use as well, to allows you to park in the parking sort of parallel or parking into a parking space, to assist you to steer the vehicle where you hold the brake and change the gears or pedals or other things. Again, if you don't need it, you don't need to press it or anything like that. Has a light button, just as normal. Aircon, very simple. Temperature, AC on and off, recirculation on and off, fan speed up and down. Obviously 0 is off. Rear demister, and then directions for the air to go to the top, to the windscreen, to the bottom, all that things. Just the menu touch. And then gear selector, very simple. Park, reverse, neutral, drive. And when you're on drive, I'm just going to disengage that. When you're on drive, you can also switch to left to your menu mode that allows you to go up and down to change menu gears. Otherwise, switch left to drive. You'll always have a display on the dash tells you you're on drive or menu. For example, M1 is menu, drive is drive, sports is sports. So to change to sports, so let's say we're on park, I'm gonna switch to drive. To change to sports, simply just flick it down and release. It's now sports mode. That allows to give you a little bit more throttle response. Push it down again, goes back to drive again. So just switch, allows you to switch in between where you need to overtake someone or whatever. So yeah, that's about the driving basically. And then yeah, we've already done that, the push button start, and this is just the charging port or cigarette plug basically. Underneath the pad, that's your wireless charging pad. So if your phone supports wireless charging, what you need to do is just simply place the phone over there and just wait for a few seconds. You have to do it on the left, and you can see now if the phone is charging itself, as long as your phone supports wireless charging. Obviously, if you don't want wireless charging, you can still charge through this USB cable or through the 12-volt socket. So yeah, that's pretty much all the features up on the top. And that's your parking, that's your light. So off, door lights, or push to be on. You normally want to leave it flat, so when you open the door, if I'm going to open the driver door, the light will light up, or close the door, the light will light off. Otherwise, push it off, so it will never light up. Otherwise, you leave on neutral. Reading lights, so that's so simple. It doesn't have to be touched all the way. So yeah, that's pretty much all the information. Cool.